Matadors, Miss Bellish here. We're going to go ahead and jump into some text-dependent questions. So our objective today is I can compare and contrast similar themes or topics addressed in two different texts. Of course, these texts are I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou and Hope is the Thing with Feathers by Emily Dickinson. So let's go ahead and just break down what compare and contrast mean. So compare, when I'm saying let's compare these two texts, we're saying what is similar between them. And then the word contrast, if I say let's contrast these, sorry about that. If I'm saying let's contrast these two texts, we're pointing out what is different between the two texts. So I like to think of this as a Venn diagram. So I'm sure you guys have seen a Venn diagram before, but we're going to talk about each poem, and the in-between is going to be those similarities. So we're going to be able to compare two texts once we've identified their similarities, aka the two parts where the circles meet. Then we're going to be able to point out the differences or contrast the texts when we identify the blue areas. So let's go ahead and break this down. So we have I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou, and then Hope is the Thing with Feathers. Go ahead, pause the video, see if you can brainstorm a few ways that the poems are similar and then different. So go ahead, compare and contrast these two texts. See if you can come up with at least one thing in each category. So go ahead and pause here. I'm so proud of you guys for brainstorming. Thank you for pausing once again. So let's go ahead and talk about this. Let's see if we can fill this out together. So I'm going to start off with contrasting the texts. So I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. The main difference here is we have this symbol of the caged bird as actually being a person, right? This is an African American in the civil rights era. That's definitely not how Emily Dickinson uses the bird as a symbol, right? And then also the symbol of the free bird is the white American. Okay, so these are some ways that we see that these two texts would contrast. So let's go ahead and figure out how Hope is a Thing with Feathers also contrasts to this text. So I'm brainstorming, pulling up the text so that I can reference it. Okay. So we have Hope is a Thing with Feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. And sweetest in the gale is heard, and sore must be the storm that could abash the little bird that kept so many warm. So for Emily Dickinson, she directly has this symbol of a bird as hope. So that's also a way that these two poems are different or how they contrast. And then she also has another symbol that is definitely different, which is the symbol of the storm, which is adversity. And adversity just means struggles. So go ahead, turn and tell your dog, your neighbor, shout it through the window, tell your parents, tell your sisters, tell your brothers, tell your cat. Adversity means struggle. So go ahead. Adversity means struggle in 3, 2, 1, turn and tell them. Adversity means struggle. Awesome job. So these are just some of the ways that our two poems contrast. So boom, you should see a question that asks you about how the poems contrast. Next, we have the ways that our poems compare. And that's going to be our middle column. So maybe you've written down a few ways that the two compare, but one that was so striking to me is that the symbol of the bird's song is present in both texts. And in both texts, this signals hope. That hope prevails. So then we also have a similar theme within that as well. These two texts are so beautiful. I really hope that you've enjoyed them as much as I have. And really with the symbolism is what I mainly wanted you to be able to run with and, haha, bird joke here, bird pun, and fly with the symbolism. I know, Miss Bellish is so funny. So yeah, that's actually how we're going to finish this up tomorrow when I see you guys for our Zoom meeting, is I want you guys to write a poem using symbolism. So there's going to be a question that pops up on your screen, and I want you to tell me which poem has the symbolism of the bird that you prefer. So which poem uses the symbol of the bird in a way that you relate to? And then tell me why. Why do you prefer that specific poem and the author's use of symbolism? So go ahead, that's going to pop up now. Last question, my friends, and I want you to really think about this and be brainstorming. So if you wrote a poem what would the bird or the bird's song symbolize to you? And please explain in detail. Love you guys so much. Looking forward to seeing your faces tomorrow. This is Miss Bellish. Text me, call me, beat me if you want to reach me. Okay, bye.